What's up everybody, Justin Muncy here, and today we're going to be doing a shootout between the Jackson Audio Belle Starr, this is the Drew Shirley signature pedal, against my other overdrives. I've been sitting on this pedal for about a year now. It was a really nice gift from my boss, and I just haven't had the opportunity, or maybe slightly the desire, to undo my pedal board to see if this thing is better. But today's that day, it's the end of the year, I have a little bit of free time, and I'm curious because I went on a tour recently and I had a little bit of trouble with my JHS Moonshine depending on the power in the venue. It can be a noisy pedal, especially with how I use it. I'm using it as my second stage drive, lots of gain, and it's pretty noisy, so I'm curious if this guy can replace it. That's my hope. I also think that might be the easiest one to replace on my board. If it's better than my Full-Drive 2, then I'm gonna have to redo this whole thing, but you know, such is life. I've decided to stand on the hill of pedals and die on it. One version of the demo will feature just the Belle Starr. Another version of the demo will feature my usual pedal board settings, so the Moonshine and the Full-Drive 2. Everything else will remain the same reverb, same delay, same guitars, same mix. Let's get into it and see which one you like better. To be a part of the blind test too, so I'm gonna have happen here is my lovely wife right here with her dog, our dog Bailey, who just left. Is going to pick between a bounce of A and B, but she's not gonna tell me which one's which. Now I'm sure I will have some semblance of what's what since I spent time recording it, but I'm gonna cover my eyes with this beanie, and yeah, I'll just have you switch between the two, and then we'll see which one I like better. Cool.
Oh jeez.
Let's go. Okay.
I think I know what this one is.
You do? Yeah. I'm not sure what it is.
Really?
I recorded this.
You're looking at church. Welcome everyone.
You're playing two at a time.
There we go.
Okay.
Stop it.
What an experiment. I feel like my vote doesn't mean anything anymore. Now my wife has been briefed on how to A-B things. Hopefully this will be a little smoother. Here you go. Alright, hit me with whatever you want. Alright, hit the other one. I think the first one is B, and the second one is A.
Wait, what do you mean?
The first one you played this round is demo B.
Yes.
So the one we just heard is A.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So I was right. Which one do you like more?
The first one A. Or I guess the second one A.
So demo A or the first song?
Demo A.
Okay.
Because it's the first time I heard it.
Which one do you think is which?
Like Drew Shirley's pedal?
Yeah, which one do you think is the Moonshine and which one do you think is this lovely guy?
Okay, I think A is that one. And then
No.
Oh no! I changed my mind afterwards, but I was like, I need to stick to my original answer.
Okay, truthfully, I think the first demo sounds better.
That's why I like it more.
Which is interesting, because it's all the old stuff.
Yeah.
But like when I was just playing around with this, I was like, this is the thing. So maybe it's not the thing. Let's look at it closer.
Final answer.
Which pedal is better?
I don't really want to be on camera.
So now you've heard it in context, let's hear it on a more individualized breakdown. Now the first thing I'm going to show you is that pluck riff, which on my original pedal board I actually had the Full-Drive on, and then obviously was the Belle Starr for the second. So unfortunately, this is the only direct comparison I have against the Full-Drive, and I hate to say it, but I think the Belle Starr takes it. I think maybe, you know, in hindsight, I had it dialed in maybe a touch too bright for everything I had going on, but on a whole, I felt like it killed the sound, the natural sound of the guitar a lot less. I know that's a strange thing, but I felt like my Telecaster sounded more like a Telecaster through this than it did through the Full-Drive. Now, you know, maybe that's not the point of the Full-Drive. Maybe the point of the Full-Drive is to color. I'm not an expert on that pedal. It was the first pedal I ever bought, and I bought it because everyone at church told me I should get it, and haven't felt like I was steered wrong since. But I will say this, there's something about it that's like, maybe very midsy. It feels filtered, you know? There's something about it that doesn't sound quite as natural, and I think that this having both the tone and the body control helps you get a more round sound. So I do really like this pedal. This is kind of a first stage drive. I probably, like I said, would dial the tone back a little bit, maybe darken it up, but you know, honestly, I had the gain up pretty high, maybe about here. You know, almost all the way up, and it wasn't really cranking. Part of that is I am using a Walrus Audio ACS1, which I think sounds phenomenal. My only gripe is that it doesn't really distort much. My gain is all the way up on it. It's clean as a whistle. But that being said, I do think this pedal sounds really, really great into it. So next up, we have a direct comparison of the Moonshine to the Belle Starr. It's that main distorted hook you hear right off the top of the song. This one was more of a toss-up for me. There's things I like about both. I do think I'm edging towards the Moonshine, although I think this particular riff sounds better on the Belle Starr. That was a very complicated way of saying, I think in the context of this song, the Belle Starr wins, but on a whole, I like the sound of the Moonshine more. As a second stage drive, I'm okay with it being a little more colored. The whole point of this is I want it to be a distortion or like a big amp sound, and the Belle Starr I had to literally crank to max, and it's not quite as distorted as the Moonshine. The Moonshine's only slightly past 50%. Was that like 60% or something? I don't know. On a whole, I do like the Moonshine quite a bit. I think there's something to it that's a little bit thicker, and I like that. And there's a little bit like a more grainy texture to it, which I think is really cool. Next up, we got the Moonshine versus the Belle Starr again. It's that U2 riff with a heavy dotted 8th delay and a pretty prominent reverb. In this round, I think I'm throwing it to the Belle Starr again. I also had the gain all the way up, and the main reason I'm doing that is for a riff like this, it's easy for it to sound muddy, and this doesn't sound quite as muddy as the Moonshine. But again, for me, I want my Moonshine to kind of sound like that, so I'm okay with it. But I do think for this like drivey U2 sound, this thing sounds phenomenal. I was a big fan of it, plus the Gretsch. I think they complement each other well. Yeah, so I would throw it to the Belle Starr in this round. What do you think? Last up is that big whole note riff with a good amount of reverb and distortion. It sounds like this. This round, I'm definitely throwing it to the Moonshine. I think it's got a lot more bite. I like the grit, I like the smoothness, the slurring of the notes. That's exactly what I want. This is just a little too clean for what I'm going for here, but I don't think it sounds bad. I think it sounds great, and I think maybe my performance, honestly, on the version with the Moonshine was better. And I think part of that, I was just feeling the sound more. It was closer to what I envisioned in my head, whereas this felt maybe just a touch weak. But, you know, we're splitting hairs here. I think both sound phenomenal. So, interestingly enough, in a head-to-head shootout, it seemed like the Belle Starr kind of won on this one. But both my wife and I, and I'm gonna throw Bailey in there too, picked Demo A, which is the original setup. I think it's just the clarity of the Belle Starr sounded really good for these particular riffs. I just think overall for me, what I needed from it, it didn't quite do. But you know, the benefit of the shootout is, while it probably won't replace my Moonshine, is it probably will replace my Full-Drive, which means more work for me. I run a pretty neat and tidy board, if you've ever seen it, and might have to undo some zip ties and whatnot to see and make it work. I don't know why they did this. I really don't like this. I know some people really love this on a pedal, and I just bought another pedal that has the, you know, the input and output here as well, and I'm not into that. But I just wanted the pedal. So I wish people would stop doing this. I don't like it. But otherwise, I think the form factor is pretty cool. It's a little taller than my other pedals, so it's probably gonna go sideways, but we have room. We're getting rid of one of the biggest pedals on the board. Anyway, if you like this video, please like, comment, subscribe, and let me know what your thoughts are. What's your favorite? Do you have this pedal? Are there cool settings that I need to try out that make this thing sound totally different? And yeah. All right, catch you in the next one. Bye.